Alright, yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Mayflower, and as always, hope all you guys are having a great day. I just released a track a couple days ago called Evolve. It's on SoundCloud, it's on Spotify, YouTube, and all the rest of the platforms. So if you haven't listened to that yet, I'll put all the links down below, and I guess you can go check it out if you want. You don't have to. It's a really fun track to make, and I love reading all the comments. It's one of my favorite parts of releasing music. Just to see what people think is really cool. The good and the bad feedback is really nice, but most of you guys seem to enjoy it, so thank you guys for the support on the track. It's really cool. Thank you. But through all the comments, I did get a lot of requests to kind of go over the project file inside of FL and show you guys what's kind of going on with the track. I've done this a couple times, and you guys seem to like these kind of videos for some reason. But yeah, I like explaining my writing process, so these are fun for me too. So yeah, that's the video idea for today. I'm just gonna hop into FL, kind of go through this project file, see what I can show you guys, and yeah. So let's go.
Let's get started.
Alright, so where to start? This is the entire project. I guess I can open it up for you guys. And yeah, it's pretty messy, and you might be like, geez, dude, how do you work like this? And I really don't know. But this isn't as unorganized as it looks. A lot of these sounds are shut off on the back end. I just like to keep them in place just in case I want to make a change to it later. But yeah, let's head down to the intro, which is one of my favorite parts of the track. I think it's a good strategy, even before you start your track, to have like a concept or an idea to go off of. It kind of gives you a direction, and it makes the writing process a lot easier when you're actually going for something. So how this whole concept kind of started for me was this sample right here. I found this on Splice, and it's kind of just like a creepy violin Halloween type sound. That's in C minor. I pitched it up to 400 cents, which now goes to E minor, which is a lot easier key to write in. And I chopped up the notes, threw a little vinyl crackle in the background, and now we have this kind of like creepy atmosphere going. And just by laying down that one sample, I knew I wanted the vibe of the song to be kind of like creepy 1920s weird sounding. Kind of where I got the idea to throw in all these old movie samples.
Let's get started.
Impossible. So, here we go.
So from there, it heads into the second part, which sounds like this.
Let's get started.
Not much changes, but I just added in a little low bass like that. And then I added a choir sample, and then the vocal chop. But a lot of people thought this was like a sample, like I got the entire vocal line off of like a sample pack or something. But it's actually a vocal chop made from an acapella. It's just it's pitched down. So this is what the original sounds like, I guess.
I can't be lonely when I'm not alone. Missing myself and there ain't no one home.
So it's just a normal acapella that I kind of chopped up right here. That's what these are. And it has a camel crusher on it too, just for some distortion. So this is what it sounds like with it off, and then I'll turn it on.
Oh, there ain't no one else. Oh, there ain't no one else.
Altogether, it sounds like this.
Let's get started.
So from here, these mid sections are mirrored, but I did change up this part down here. I added like a little, kind of like a little boom bap beat towards the end, just for a little bit of variety. Oh, snare. And I thought that was a cool little section for all the the sampling that's going on. I thought like kind of like a 90s beat would kind of fit right on top of it. I don't know, it just I think it sounds clean. And then we head into this part where this kind of like brass kicks in, and that is a something from a Varian pack, I think. Yeah. So that's what it sounded like at full speed, but I did put a gross beat on it with a little half speed, like you see all like the beat producers do and stuff, and it gives it a whole different vibe.
Here we go.
So I do think breaking up the sections with these little vocal samples I do, because I literally do it on every single section. That is a little bit cheesy, but I think if you're gonna play it live, you wouldn't play the entire track. So if you started from here, and then everything kind of goes quiet, and then the sample, then kind of like a wall of sound for the build. I don't know, it creates a lot of tension. It's just more exciting in the right context, if that makes any sense. I have these huge Hans Zimmer horns. They're taking up most of the space in the mix on the build. Just like that. a lot of people use that sample, but it works pretty good. Just a snare opening with a filter, bass, riser. But one cool thing I did do for the build, kind of when all this kicks in, the main thing you hear is this. Yeah, that's from the movie 300. It's like the scene like before like they go into the huge battle, and yeah, I don't know where I got that idea from, but I think it was just a random thought, but it worked out all right. It just makes it a whole lot more like epic sounding, I guess. Haven't said that word since like 2012. And then to tie it all together and give it some more tension, I just threw in an endless smile, and that's actually doing a lot of work towards the end. But yeah, it's a pretty simple build. Sorry boys, I'm a little sleep deprived. I'm sure you guys can relate. I want to make videos like this. I think it's really cool to show kind of the stages of the song and how it progressed. I don't know, I think you know, a lot of artists do like multiple versions of a drop or something, and you wouldn't otherwise hear that unless, I guess, they made a video. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, this first one up here, I wrote this song front to back in probably 2 or 3 hours, just one session. And then the next day I completely changed it. And then we have the final one, which you guys have all heard. Yeah, let's see what this first drop sounded like. It's actually super trippy to hear. That is completely different from the final result. That has more like a kind of like a trap vibe. I don't really know what I was going for. In between the first and the last, I did have like a live stream, like a show I had to play, and I wanted to play as much as my own music as possible. So I worked on this the day before that little live stream, and I just wanted it to be good enough to like I don't know, play it out. So that's what this is. I kind of just changed the entire idea up, and eventually it morphed into this one. But let's see what this one sounded like. So yeah, you know, it's getting there, but it still kind of sucks. After that, the next day, I kind of cleaned it up, worked on it a couple more days, and then eventually, you know, we got this final master. All right, cool. We can get into the drop now. Usually, before I even start messing around with basses and stuff, I have to lay down just a solid drum beat to start out with. So this is what the drum beat sounds like on its own. And yeah, it's just the classic kick and clap rhythm pattern. I do have like a laser going on there, and I think this is from a some type of superhero game, but this is like the villain guy. So that makes like kind of a cool offbeat chant. So let's look at some of these basses. These are actually them down here. I had to bounce them out, but I'd still have the originals in the pattern. So let's look at those. I think this first patch is actually really simple. Yeah, it's just a square wave, and I think yeah, just the comb filter's doing most of the work back here. So let's listen to it. And then with and without that comb filter too. So it kind of gives it that like mean metallic attack, and I don't know, I thought that sounded kind of cool. And then the alternate one is the same one, just with this LFO set to both of the levels. Threw in the classic like psych sample to break up the first part, and everything kind of hits on this beat. So the thing that carries it the most throughout is kind of like this little sustain patch, which is pretty much just a patch with this LFO on the wavetable. Really, nothing else is going on. So like I said, the main patch, which is bounced out right here, is actually like 3 or 4 patches layered up. So it's this one, and that's kind of the main one. And yeah, apparently this started as some type of VR patch, but I renamed it Samplifier Womp. I don't know. I think it just reminded me of Samplifier, so I just named it that. Let me see if I can find that original VR patch to see how far I've came from it. Yeah, there it is, right there. It has the same little name. Let's see what that. Yeah, that came a long way. while you're kind of like going through ideas, trying to make the drop. Use like a virtual riot preset just as a placeholder, and then you end up changing it into something of your own, especially with the post-processing that's on it. It's totally different from the original one. It's kind of cool to backtrack and see where you started from. I almost never use like the straight up just the serum patches in the pattern. I always bounce them out and kind of process them on their own. You can get a lot of cool results from pitching it down or resampling or stretching it. There's just a million possibilities when you export the audio. But here's like my 4 variations that I use. When you have them bounced out like this, it's super easy to move them around and try different things. Like on this switch up right here, this is kind of a weird looking setup, but somehow I made it work. So I think I can show you guys one more thing before this video goes on a bit too long. It's just how I made these like little off basses. I think this is my favorite one right here. Also this one over here. I think I saw Nasco do this once in a live stream, and I was also watching the Disciple live stream where they're doing the mega collab, and they did this as well. But basically to create little weird like alternate basses, you can bounce out your entire drop, like the entire thing, drums and everything, and then put it into Edison. And I didn't even know about this feature, but this little tape thing right here, you could drag it up and down with your mouse, and it kind of gives you like a weird tape stop effect. So let me see if I can play this real quick and show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm just going to be dragging this thing up and down. This entire recording is just me doing that over and over until I find like the coolest sections. So yeah, that's kind of like a cool thing to do, to give you like some like one-off basses. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it for this little project file explanation. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I always think doing this type of stuff is boring, but then every time I put out a video like this, you guys seem to really like it for some reason. So yeah, that is about it. Let's cue the outro. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. If you made it to the end, hope you guys enjoyed the video and or learned something. I kind of took a nice break from releasing music publicly and even making some YouTube videos just to kind of figure out what I was doing with myself and my music. But I think I know what I'm doing now, so I should have some more coming out soon. But as always, if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to DM me on Twitter or Instagram. I always check my messages and try to get back to you guys just as a way to say thanks for supporting my videos and my music. And a lot of you guys are really cool, so if you ever have a question or just want to say what's up, slide in the DMs. But yeah, other than that, I think it's going to do it for today's video, boys, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.